Diddy has just been hit with a brand new lawsuit that is naming Jay-Z, Beyonce, and LeBron James as witnesses of a freak off. And this is not an April Fool's joke. This lawsuit was actually filed in court today. And it has other defendants listed with Diddy that I'm sure you've heard of before, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. This lawsuit was filed by a man named Joseph Manzaro against Diddy, another man named Eric, Brendan Paul, which is Diddy's alleged substance mule that got arrested after Diddy was raided, Emilio Estefan, and Adria English, the woman that filed the lawsuit against Diddy, who worked as a dancer during Diddy's white parties. This man is alleging that he was given substances and then transported against his will and was a victim of an organized criminal enterprise beginning in 2015, organized and facilitated by the defendants. He alleges that there was a pattern of threats, concealment, manipulation, and psychological coercion that persisted for years. And he is alleging that these defendants obstructed justice by doing cover-ups and intimidating him and enabling these crimes through conspiracy and concealment. He is alleging that he has medical records from a licensed urologist and a surgeon documenting this essay, disfigurement, and serious hernias, which continue to impact his quality of life and physical well-being. This man is alleging that Brendan Paul relayed Diddy's instructions and coordinated his transport, and then Adria English, who referred to herself as Diddy's assistant, acted as an enabler and a co-conspirator, assisting in the plaintiff's targeting, isolation, and concealment after the incident. He alleges that defendant Eric is who gave him substances and transported him, and then later posted threats on Facebook blaming him for Bonnie Riviera's unaliving and issued repeated threats against him, including kidnapping and threats to his minor son. He claims additional security footage from 2015 shows a hitman that's associated with defendant Eric, who is now serving a life sentence in an unrelated unaliving case in his alleyway. And he said he filed a police report corroborating this encounter. He alleges that these were acts of intimidation, surveillance, and fraud, and they continued for years and were designed to suppress his memory and delay or prevent legal recourse. He then claims that high-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, known as Jacob the Jeweler, Jayz, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter are identified as witnesses, allegedly due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. This man says that on or about early April of 2015 at approximately 5:30 p.m., he arrived at his residence located at 424 Valley Forge Road, West Palm Beach, Florida. He claims that he unlocked his door and turned the handle and he felt a greasy substance resembling Vaseline on his hand. He attempted to wash his hands, but then he lost consciousness before he could do so. He said when he regained consciousness, he was in the backseat of a moving vehicle driven by defendant Eric with Bonnie Riviera in the passenger seat. He inquired about his location, expressing confusion and insisting that he was supposed to be at home. Then, before losing consciousness again, he overheard Bonnie Rivera telling defendant Eric that he was regaining consciousness, asking, "He's waking up, cuz, what should I do? Do you want me to knock him out?" And Eric responded, "No, don't touch him. Don't worry, just give it a minute. He'll fall back to sleep again. I gave him a lot of scopolamine." He claims that he regained consciousness at defendant Eric's residence in Deerfield Beach, Florida, where he was being forcefully held, and while he was there, he witnessed a man named Omar Bravo deliver 2 grams of illegal substances. Then alleges that he saw Brendan Paul, the man who had worked for Diddy, who is allegedly Diddy's substance mule, who was appearing nervous, and he sat nearby with a motorcycle helmet in his lap. After the transaction, the substances were placed in Brendan's backpack. Before leaving, Brendan stated that Diddy wanted him to be brought to the freak-off event, making him realize that he was being transported against his will. Upon arrival at the security booth at One Star Island Drive in Miami, Florida, all occupants of the vehicle were required to present identification, which is Diddy's home in Miami. This man alleged that he was forcefully rose up for a positive identification, and Eric informed security that they were attending an event at Espin Mansion, mentioning that it was Christian's birthday party that night. The security logs at the entrance of Star Island would reflect this entry. He claims that he was then dragged through the back entrance of the Estefan mansion at approximately 12:30 a.m. Inside, Gloria Estefan allegedly panicked upon seeing him in a deteriorating state, demanding call an ambulance. However, Emilio quickly silenced her and ushered her away into the crowd. And what I find weird about this, Diddy has been friends with the Estefan family, the husband and the wife, for years. Here is him with Gloria Estefan, and here he is with Emilio Estefan. And back in 2021, Diddy actually purchased Gloria and Emilio Estefan's mansion to expand Star Island. This man then claims that he saw LeBron James, who is wearing a white bath towel, brown shower shoes, and carrying a shaving bag, walking through the hallway. LeBron James looked at him and, in response to Gloria Estefan's plan for an ambulance, remarked, "Y'all better do something about that." He then claims that he was led by Adria English, who identified herself as Diddy's personal assistant, through a concealed tunnel that was connected to the Estefan mansion to Diddy's mansion. Said he found himself inside a large party area. Upon information and belief, he believed that it was Diddy's son's birthday party. He said that Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing him, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What is this? What is this about? Why is this half-undressed white man with a mask standing here in front of me?" Eric responded, "Diddy wants him to see what we do to snitches. This is a part of his punishment." He was forcefully paraded through multiple rooms filled with people taunting him. He alleged that Diddy ordered the degradation, stating, "He's gonna find out what we do to snitches tonight. Get him undressed." He said that he was unclothed and placed inside a shower where two unidentified women forcibly washed him while Eric and Bonnie Rivera watched. After this, he was dressed in a small bikini bottom and a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcefully inserted and zipped closed over his head. He is claiming that there was a locking adult toy device that was asphyxiated to the mask, which was protruding out of his mouth. Then alleges that he was subjected to degrading and non-consensual acts at the direction of Diddy and Adria English. He was essayed and forced to partake in unwanted activities involving the mask and adult toys on a large black leather ottoman first until he lost consciousness again. He claims that when he regained partial awareness, he was locked in a small dark side room, left on a black leather couch until Adria English and Eric allegedly entered the room and dressed him and prepped him for transport out of the property. He then claims that he encountered Jacob the jeweler, who was visibly disturbed upon seeing him in his forced attire. He asked, "What is this? What's going on with this guy? Why is he standing here staring at me with this strapped to his face?" He alleges that defendant Eric responded, "Oh, he's just some guy who's a snitch. We're teaching him a little lesson." He then claims that Emilio intervened, instructing defendant Eric and Bonnie Rivera to move him out of Jacob the jeweler's sight. Gloria Estefan again pleaded for an ambulance to be called, but defendant Emilio silenced her and shoved her into the crowd. Claims upon leaving the event, he overheard Diddy ask defendant Eric, "You're going to be getting rid of him, right?" To which defendant Eric responded, "Yeah, I'll be taking care of that." After this freak-off event, he was returned to a gang house where he was beaten and left inside his apartment. Yeah, this is this whole new lawsuit filed against Diddy and many others with a lot of witnesses being added. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.